Hey, how you guys doing? This is the producer from Brothers Comics. Welcome to Dey Over 40 podcast, our long-time, long-suffering Bengal fan podcast. We've been through the highs, we've been through the lows, a lot of lows, y'all. But hopefully we're on an uptick right now. We got a number one pick at quarterback named Joe Burrow. The subtitle for today's podcast is Dey Over 40 versus Pump Your Breaks Playboi. The Bengals fans, including us, might have been a little bit over the top after two practices with Joe Burrow. And so we're gonna try to pump the brakes here. I know everybody's excited, including us, but we may need to slow down just a wee bit.
A whole bit.
Yeah, on the line tonight. And if you're watching on the YouTube or whatever, you can see us streaming here. On the line tonight, it's the Sandman lined up in the X position. Say what's happening.
Oh, what's going on, people? Excitement. We have a quarterback.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Much
Possibility.
I'm praying.
Yeah. The funny thing is, it's about 4 o'clock here, or 4:20 to be specific, or whatever.
4:20.
Woo!
Yeah,
420.
yeah, light them up. And this is really the time of the day, or the time on a Sunday where I'm usually just like, I won't even want to know what's happening at the end of that game. I just turn it off. Like I'll catch the update on ESPN. Like refresh. At the end, it's not good for my heart.
No, it's
on
not.
the line also, 2 yards in the cloud of dust is Big Hunch. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up?
Y'all, I can't be the only one that does that. That don't watch the shit at the end when they feel like, where they try to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
They're usually down by 10 going into the third, and by like 7 minutes left in the fourth, if it's still double digits, it's over.
No,
I never saw that Miami game.
The Miami game. That's exactly what I was going to bring up. Last year when we were happy they were winning for a change. I mean, losing for a change. And these fools tried to win the game and screw up everything.
Yeah, that would have messed everything up. Yeah, well, we would have wound up with 2. But who didn't look good in his first scrimmage? But we'll get to that later, too. I'm talking about when they have like it's a minute or less or something like that, or 2 minutes and less, and they have the ball and they need to score to win. Or if they don't have the ball and it's 2 minutes less, hold on to win. That's
the one.
Heart attack inducing situations. I'm too old, to quote Danny Glover, I'm too old for this shit. So
yes.
I remember that Falcons game where the Bengals were driving, and I was in my car and I left and I drove to Sam's Club, and I was like, big ass TV, everybody's sitting in front of it, and I'm like, damn, there's still time left. There's a chance. And they had like a couple of fourth downs and whatever.
Yeah.
And he fucking threw that ball to AJ Green in the end zone, and all them Falcon fans were like, fuck!
Yeah, my son has had that game on repeat all pandemic. So yeah, there's that. It is an exciting win or whatever. And then the wheels completely fell off.
God.
I mean, it was the Tyler Eifert injury. Yeah, the Tyler Eifert injury, man. That was going to be a season they needed to outscore everybody. And as soon as he went out, that was a wrap. So,
especially when you got Andy Dalton as your quarterback and you allowed 0 mistakes. 0. Nice. So, yes.
All right. So let's set the show. If you've ever been with us or listened to us before, you know we got 4 quarters, a halftime topic. So that's the show. The halftime topic today would be a lot of fun. We're going to talk famous teammate fights, as now former safety Earl Thomas from the Ravens was released and cut today after beating the dog crap out of one of his teammates. So we're going to look at some famous fights, not literally look at them, but, kind of talk about them. We're going to take it in and out of the realm of football, because it does happen in other sports too. So we're going to talk that 4 quarters. Second half is really the Joe Burrow part. So if you're hanging on for that part, you can go ahead and skip ahead if need be. I don't know what time we'll get there, but it's coming in the second half, because we got to do the first stuff up first. And the first thing up, injuries. We got to do the injury updates, y'all. There's been some significant injuries to the Bengals at this point. So we got to talk about them. The first one we'll go, I guess, is a positive. John Ross is back. He's back out of his kid had the COVID or whatever. He's been back with the team now. I would assume he's going to be in COVID protocol though, since he was gone and he's coming back. He's probably got either 2 weeks of quarantining or at least 2 weeks of testing or something like that. So he may be back with the team, but I can't imagine that he's back at practice. It's, better back than not back, Hutch, correct?
He could bring that bad luck shit with him and more bad luck shit with him. I'm starting a petition today. Free John Ross.
From what? Free
from the
what?
Bengals.
No,
free from the Bengals.
Come on.
Go away. Go away.
I'm not doing that yet.
I'm saying, man, it's a good thing that he's back, like, for sure. Like, he can't just be, you got to hold it back a little bit further there, Hutch. Yeah, I'm a father. That's awful. For those who not watching the video.
Oh, my God.
You'd best to not even see what he wrote. Sam, it is good that he's back, regardless of how you feel about him.
Whether or not he is the world's most expensive decoy or not, I mean, at least they got to respect the fact and they put a man on him so AJ and the other real receivers can catch the ball. So that's one less dude.
That's worse than what I said.
That's terrible, too.
Yes, it's terrible, but at least this proves he can catch the ball when it's thrown at him. Regularly, he's the world's most advanced decoy.
Right.
That's where I'm going to treat him. Yeah.
They should put on his jersey name should say Greyhound.
Terrible.
That's terrible.
But the other thing, too, though, now that he is back, and we'll talk about this when we get to the scrimmage, too, he wasn't there. We'll talk about AJ here in a few minutes, too. John Ross wasn't there. AJ wasn't there. T. Higgins is not there as well. So now we've gotten to the point, like, the receivers were able to do well with Joe Burrow. Now the wide receiver room is pretty deep. How many are you going to carry? Because, again, you may carry 7 or 8, but only 5 of them are dressing out. So you got to be really careful, who that is going to be. So coming from the top to the bottom, you have AJ Green, John Ross, and Tyler Boyd as your first 3. Then you still got T. Higgins, who's a second-round pick, so he's obviously not going anywhere. Alex Erickson may not be a great receiver, but he returns kicks and punts. Like I had Alden Tate, who was balling out allegedly, and I like Alden Tate. Like, I mean,
I do too.
That dude's catch radius is amazing. If it's anywhere near him, he's catching.
He got hands.
Right. Man, I mean, and all over the place. He catches everything. Alden Tate. And then this Mike Thomas fella not the Mike Thomas that we would like.
Not the Mike Thomas.
Mike Thomas fella is supposed to be doing pretty well. Then you got Stanley, Morgan, the special teams person. Damian Willis started last year in Seattle, the first game of the season. He was the opposite starter of John Ross. So, I mean,
wow,
that's 8 deep. You probably only keeping 7 at the most and maybe only dressing out 5. Right. And Erickson is making the team because of his kickoff and punt returns. So that's Green, Ross, Boyd, Higgins, Erickson. That's 5. And Tate, I don't know if they can get somebody else past that. They might wind up having to dress out 6 and send somebody out there on special teams. And it ain't going to be T. Higgins.
Free John Ross.
Man, it's a
tough
they're
group. Not going to do that.
I know. That's a pretty decent run of 6 receivers. I mean, even with Andy Dalton, that's a decent run of 6.
That is. But I remember
that's
we got 8 or 9 right there, right? You named 8 or 9 dudes right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's not counting, the whichever college free agent saying, man, it pops off the screen. Like, hey, can we sneak this dude through the practice squad for a year? That's how Damian Willis made the team. I mean, that's a deep group of wide receivers.
That's a very deep group. And they're going to be forced to try to, like you said, try to sneak somebody on the practice squad. And they're going to be teams lined up ready to snatch them, I'm afraid. So, I hope we don't have a lot. Don't even say the name. I could easily see that happening too, but let's hope we don't have a lot of injuries. Let's put it that way. That's a lot of cats, man. A lot of good cats. Who do you leave off? I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And hold this thought. And hold this thought on the Pump Your Breaks Playboy at the top of the playlist. And we'll hold it for later. I'm just going to throw this question out. Do we have a quarterback that is, hey, this guy's going to be really good, you know, not Andy Dalton good, where he has to have talent? Do we have like one of those quarterbacks like it doesn't matter the talent? Like you can put out Danny Woodheads of the world and all these other Wes Welkers, and that quarterback makes them stars and money? Or does he, you know, is he just going to be that person that's good and he has good talent, they'll be good or whatever? He doesn't necessarily need it, but like that is going to be the real question for Joe Burrow. Because if we have, he can make freaking Auden Tate and Alex Erickson's like stars and money, we're winning Super Bowls. But Pump Your Breaks, Playboy. Talking to me.
Catch yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah. Use your own advice.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
All right. Other injury update: Sean Williams. He injured his calf. Gets carted off. Going to be out until the season opener. As we had said before, saying, man, he's not technically a starter anymore. Like he's probably like in mostly nickel situations as a linebacker, air quotation marks. Been with the team for a while now, man. He's a Marvin holdover for sure, and a Marvin guy for sure. He wouldn't, you know, say anything ever about anything. So, you know, Sean Williams being carted off, not out until the opener. What do you think, Stanley?
Yeah, I thought it was actually good that he wasn't a starter and be like the third safety, you know, off the bench or third on the nickel or whatever defense they end up playing 4-2, was it 5 maybe, and have like 3 safeties out or 3 corners, whatever they're going to do. I like that not starting, because let's face facts, he's a glorified tackler / linebacker, and I think that's why Marvin liked him, and definitely a Marvin holdover. You know, he's one of them players year to year that would drive us crazy. Like, why is this fool still on the damn team? He can't play. Well, I don't mind so much if he's coming off the bench, or, you know, he's not necessarily a starter per se. You know, that's probably the best kind of situation for him anyway, in my opinion.
Collecting checks, being hurt.
Stop.
Well,
he's been
before
durable. I bet you was a Sean Williams fan when he intercepted that ball in Pittsburgh and got that interception. Was that the War of 1812? Was that the War of 1812 where the field goal game? I don't remember if that was it or not, but I remember he got that interception and I was beyond.
He ran that shit back. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was great. He's a necessary piece for them to be somewhat successful on defense. So it's good that he's going to be back.
That's the case, then we're in trouble because he's out for 2 months.
Well, but
you're not going to be back week 1.
They're not going to tell me that there's another safety on there that's better than him, other than the 2.
There's one that just got free.
Errol Thomas. Yeah, I said to my son earlier, since he got cut, he wanted to go to Cowboys anyway when he was in Seattle because he's he went to Texas. So he wanted to go to Dallas, anyway. Yeah. So he's just going to kind of sign with the Cowboys. That's what he wanted the first time. He didn't necessarily want to go to the Ravens. So he'll wind up signing with Dallas. That's just
There's this thing you do is you don't sign the contract.
No, he got traded, though, to the Ravens. He wasn't a free agent.
He was a trade?
He could have did whatever he wanted to get out of that, and he did it.
Yeah, he did. Well, he did it all right. He had a $10 million guarantee, and probably the Ravens didn't want to pay it. That's probably the closer thing to the truth, that they just didn't want to pay. So, he'll wind up in Dallas.
You know what, though? That makes the Ravens weaker, which makes us stronger. Because that mofo could find the ball, and he could remove the ball from a receiver in the quickness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was saying to my son that, you know, he's like, the Bengals should sign him or whatever. I was like, he's going to go to Dallas. But if he didn't go to Dallas, his only other option would probably be to go to Steelers so he could stick it to the Ravens.
Oh, right. He wants to do. Right. It would be great if he came and did a revenge tour with us.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. If he doesn't sign with Dallas, which I do think we play Dallas this year, so that means the Ravens play him too. So he's going to the Cowboys. stone cold lock, as they say. So
if you wanna make this season legitimate on defense, you sign him.
Yeah, or Jadeveon,
or Clowney, or both.
I mean that's a crowded safety room though. If you would actually did sign him, I'm not gonna argue signing him.
Right.
Yeah, Sean Williams gets
jersey.
cut.
Grab this.
Yeah, Sean Williams gets cut.
Trails.
Yeah, Sean Williams gets cut. Von Bell moves to the 2-5 defense. He moves to that kind of in the box kind of safety for linebacker safety situation. So just cut Sean Williams. He gets cut. Whoever else you got cut to get that number.
The password is combo plate.
Yeah, for sure.
You on the bench.
Little known and little used defensive tackle Renell Wren also got carted off as well. He got put on the injured reserve football list or whatever for a quadricep injury. He was counted. He looked like he was going to get counted on to play some snaps between tackle and defensive end over the course of the year. But he's not going to be available for a while, if at all, this year. Don't know much about him. I think he was a 4th or 5th round pick. Got injured last year as well. So he only played a questionable number of snaps. So I don't think we weren't counting on him to do too much of anything, but he did provide some depth touch at defensive tackle and end, which we have no depth at defensive end.
Not anymore.
Nothing. Mm-hmm. He's another NBC, another body count. But I don't know nothing about him, so whatever.
Saying, man, it looks like rookie Khalid Kareem from Notre Dame is probably going to get several snaps now at defensive end. He's a little light in the ass for me in terms of setting the edge for the run, so I don't really know how much use he's going to get.
Yeah, a wise man once said, that ain't good. Whatever you getting rookies on the field and they light in the ass, like you just said, and that means cats getting pushed around. Long game. Oh God, they gonna be running the inside and picking on that fool if he's gonna be out there a lot. I mean, who knows? We don't know. He's a rookie. That's usually a bad thing, out of the base starting.
Here's a wild thought.
Wren was go ahead.
Sorry, here's a wild thought. Somebody said that Kareem, whatever his name is, Mia Khalifa. Somebody said Mia Khalifa's ceiling was Michael Johnson. Would you take that?
Michael Johnson, our defensive end from 3 or 4 tours ago?
Like young Michael Johnson, I'll take it. Not
before the back injury, Michael Johnson.
Before all the craziness and stuff, hell yeah, I'll take that.
Would you take that, Hodge?
Yeah, I take
defensive end. He's
6'8"?
Well, he's tall, but 2 years. But he didn't. He topped out that one year where he got 11 sacks and got all that money from
Tampa Bay.
He hurt his back and he wound up back with us. But
right,
how
did that happen?
In a limited fashion. He didn't want to leave to begin with. Right. He didn't want to leave to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Again, don't sign the contract. Don't press in. Don't sign the contract.
Yeah, but after a while, man, if somebody stick that money in front of you, Cincinnati wasn't going to match it, so you just take the money. I mean, he got the guarantee, so what does it matter? Then you got to
be like, hey, I love the pewter and orange or whatever that colors are.
Yeah.
Whatever. If you take the money, you hook.
Yeah.
It's all about that green in the end.
Right.
He got injured too. That didn't help. But I'm
rich, bitch.
If he wound up being 80% of Michael Johnson, I'd take it. That'd be fine.
Take that.
Productive, solid player for us for several years.
Yeah.
I'd like to start another petition. Bengals, please don't sign players from Michigan State and Notre Dame. Yeah, we had some badass luck. Hell, Michigan too. All of them suck.
Eifert was the man before he got hurt.
You were talking about Eifert last week.
But he's always He was always hurt. Hell, he was always at Notre Dame games on Saturday because he was busted up. He couldn't play on Sunday.
He didn't have enough Down Jesus in Cincinnati. I think that's what it was.
Maybe that's what it is.
How you gonna get hurt in a damn Pro Bowl game?
Yeah, it's a first.
Don't get me started on that. Oh, God. Yeah.
Why are you going and playing in the Pro Bowl to begin with? That's a whole nother story. Come on, man. Like, no. All right.
Stupid.
So, yeah, he's out. Trey Wayans, it was updated as well. He's, they first said like, 2 months, but now it's looking like more like half the season. I would imagine
worse than that.
Yeah, I would imagine he winds up on PUP. The one that you can bring back. I think you can bring back 2 players this time, or maybe even more under the new rules, where you used to only be able to bring back 1. So he's out. Yeah. We had talked about who would be the run there, and it looks like Darius Phillips is going to go run with the runs. That's how it looked in practice this week. So, you wind up with Willow and Darius Phillips, Mackenzie Alexander, and Nickel.
Did you see that picture of him with that book talking about how to cornerback for dummies?
Come on, man.
Oh, God.
Come on, man. They're fine. I mean, look.
They're not fine. If Joe Burrow in practice is lighting them, only dropping 1 pass, going up and down the field twice, that ain't good.
Or he's just that much better.
That's what I was going to say.
They are and others.
Joe was that good.
Yeah, it could be that.
No, this is the Matrix. Nobody gets it right the first time.
Hutch ain't having none of it.
Yeah, I know.
No chance.
All right, and well, since we've already wound up the freaking monkey, AJ Green has been out of practice since the first practice with a tight hamstring.
Oh boy.
It's precautionary, as they say. It's just a soft muscle tissue injury, which I'm surprised there hasn't been more of them. It's just only because it's him. But he sat out, didn't play the scrimmage, didn't play like the next practice or whatever. They say
didn't play last year, didn't play a year before.
I'm not sure why you're playing him that much to begin with. He really needs to be in the bubble protocol.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
where's my scissors? That's where he needs to be.
I mean, yeah, Sandman. I mean, it's probably nothing, but with his history, it becomes something.
They better, like you just said, put him in the old man bubble in the glass case. Do not break unless it's week 1. Sit that mofo down before he gets hurt, man. It's crazy, but because during his career, he's hardly ever got hurt. And then when it came in a damn rush, man, all at once. And now it's hard. We can't seem to keep him on the field. So you keep him. You want him to warm up on the sideline, that's fine. You want to throw him the ball, that's fine. But don't let him back out on that damn field until week 1.
Play him on Madden.
Yeah, he needs more than that. And again, like, they need to work on their timing. Okay.
They do.
I mean, like, do it in the game. I mean, at that point, man, like, honestly, you just can't. You can't put him out there. Like, whether he's injured,
do it.
Bad luck. They should have known better taking him to Dayton. That was the worst possible thing that you could have ever.
And he already taught T. Higgins how to be like, oh, my leg, I got cramps too.
Yeah, he's out as well still. But
right. He's already passing down the knowledge.
Yeah, it's just not worth it. Like, I wouldn't practice AJ Green until 2 weeks before that game happens. Like, I'd give him 2 weeks off, and then you get 2 weeks to practice, when you're game planning for the Chargers. That's it. No more. No mas. He doesn't need to keep going. So
his playbook should be like, get open. I'll throw it to you. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, just fall down when you catch it. You don't even have to run.
Yeah, don't stop running. No. Oh my God. And I used to think this under Marvin and them too. Stop throwing AJ Green slants. Let that nigga run up and down the field. Stop throwing him slants. Because he's gonna get blowed up by a linebacker. And in his defense, he forever getting them slants and getting caught from behind and fumble. He's just, oh my God. Every time he catches a slant, I'm like, just slide, man. Just get down. Get down.
Get down.
Man, oh my God.
Yards after
catch. Throwing him slants.
His reaction should be like -2. He should just fall backwards. Just catch it and fall backwards.
That's terrible.
Yeah, they got to adjust. They got to adjust for AJ, man. They got to.
They haven't played with
him
him.
Routes that maybe don't don't lead right into the heart of the damn defense, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be smarter about this.
Yeah, throw him out. She's got a quarterback
dude on the sidelines. Oh, that's
We've got a quarterback that can throw an out now that doesn't have a noodle arm where you can't throw out. So let him go get out. You know, throw him. Throw him 50-50 balls down the field. Like that's it.
It better be 60-40 balls down the field.
Hey man, I trust him in 50-50 situations. I don't.
He got hands. His hands have never.
Yeah, I don't like them slants. But he does. But he has inexplicable drops too. Like it just doesn't make. When he drops, it's just like you drop that, but then they throw it. It's on the pylon with a freaking ant's ass there. He'll catch that. Like, I caught it just that little bit. They cut this end of the ball. He'll catch that. But he'll throw it to him across the middle and it just hit him in his hands and he'll just drop it.
Because he's afraid about getting blown up.
Well, and this is probably more. Well, it's probably more Andy Dalton's fault. The freaking them tip balls.
That's what I was about to say.
Interceptions forever, man. Oh my god.
Them damn.
Get two hands on it.
Them all off kilter balls. Dalton throwing them. That don't help. So
that's Andy Dalton though. He was throwing it 10 feet too high, and he tried to go and get it. That was Andy Dalton. Yeah. All right.
Getting his receivers blown up. Yeah.
Yep. All right, that's quarter one. Let's get into quarter two. All right, so there was a tackle practice and a scrimmage over the last couple of days here. And I want to talk about, like, starters. And more importantly, the offensive line starters, although it's probably no real surprises there, but we can talk about what happened. And then we could talk about some of the defensive starters, which there are some somewhat surprises, especially after the back four. Offensive line from left to right on your radio dial: Jonah Williams, Mike Jordan, Trey Hopkins, Sua Filiolo. I'm going to have a hard time all season with that, and Bobby Hart. Okay, so in the scrimmage, there were 5 false starts. 2 of them were on Bobby Hart. 4 false starts, excuse me. 2 of them were on Bobby Hart. Hutch, what's it going to take to get this Negro out of there? Does he got naked pictures of Mike Brown? What is it, man?
Can somebody put like a whole roll of checker sandwiches leading from his room to the door of the facility? That's the only thing to get that fat anteater out of there.
Awful.
Let's go in and buy some crack, and I will volunteer drive to Cincinnati and plant it on that Negro so we can get him the hell up out of this damn thing.
Get rid of him.
I can't take it no more.
You're not Stanley Wilson.
I don't care.
That ain't gonna do it. Them checker sandwiches, some big Bufords, that'll do it.
Yeah. I mean, again, we talked about this on the last podcast. He's a full-on conspiracy theorist. What's his name? When the wide receiver for Deshaun Jackson was spewing out anti-Semitic stuff. He was like, "Go on, Deshaun!" Like, how has he not been cut? Like, what are you doing? Like, it would have been the perfect time. He's $7 million, y'all, that could be spent on
anywhere else.
Broke children in Cincinnati, something.
Just
getting rid of it. I mean,
you can revitalize the whole city for $7 million.
Man, you could buy Skyline for a whole group of children. I don't know what you can do, but sponsor a whole bunch of schools for Kings Island. You could just save that money. There's no way that you can tell me that any of them other dudes is worse than Bobby Hart. You can't do that. You're not going to be able to convince me that of nothing. He is a walking, talking moron. And we're rolling him out there every week for whatever reason. So,
and as long as he's on the offensive line, we better have nurses and doctors available on the sideline for the quarterback du jour.
Or have that gurney ready. Jesus
right.
It's gonna be terrifying watching that side, man.
Just say watching some of these games when my son keeps watching on YouTube and whatever else we watching stuff. These young children. That dude was forever yelling at Andy Dalton. Like, he would do something wrong and he's yelling at Andy Dalton. Like, I know that dude just blew past me, but why'd you get sacked? Why'd you go the ball? Like, forever yelling, man. I'm like, you need to be yelling at yourself, boy. What's wrong with you?
I guess that's being black and 300-something pounds does help for something.
Man.
Where did they get this fool from? Why still?
And he quit their team, or they thought he quit, and we brought him in. And they paid him $7 million. Nobody was going to pay him $7 million, not a soul. They was worried they weren't going to get anybody else. You could have rolled anybody out there. It wouldn't have been any worse. Come on, son.
Nobody worse. Terrible. They just don't want to be wrong. They trying to make something out of him. They don't want to be wrong and get roasted in the media like they will righteously get. So that's what all that is.
He's somebody that can't make the team if he's not starting. So if he's not going to start, he's going to get cut. You're not going to have him as a $7 million backup. That's not going to happen.
With that money, he'll be out.
He's not starting. He's done. So from left to right, again, early reports that the left side is actually pretty good. Jonah Williams is playing pretty well. Michael Jordan, I guess, has come back, sculpted. Kind of
sophomore.
The same with Jonah Williams. Yeah, he's not just big. Now he's big and, all bulked up.
Refined.
Trey Hopkins is just Trey Hopkins. He's just solid. But again, the right side, I think Seal Philo had maybe one of those false starts too. But he's playing next to Bobby Hart, man. It's like cheating off the freaking dumb kid in class. Like, what'd you put? C? What? I haven't even started the test yet. So, you can't put that dude next to somebody like that. But
no,
I'm okay with that. He's just got to go. Like, that's basically it. All right. On defense, the front four is set, across there in the base 4-3 defense. You got Dunlap, Reeder, Atkins, and Sam Hubbard. The corners are set now. It's William Jackson, Darius Phillips. Seems like that's going to be them moving forward again. Mackenzie Alexander in the nickel. The safeties are pretty set too with Jesse Bates and Von Bell. When they flip into their 5-2, 2-5 or whatever the heck that is, obviously you're going to get some substitution. It's obviously the linebackers. Josh Bynes has been the steady piece. He's been out there lined up with the ones every single time. So it's the given that he's going to be there. But it's the others too that are probably the other issue. Rookie Marcus Bailey lined up in that first tackle practice. 7th rounder Marcus Bailey.
7th rounder.
Yep, he lined up with the first group. Jermaine Pratt has obviously been out there a lot with the ones, but they've rolled everybody out there from, Bailey to Logan Wilson to Jordan Evans. Scary, being out there with the linebacking group. And so, I guess, what's this, Austin Calistro or something, some free agent signee from Iowa State that they were really high on. It's obviously still in flux. Hutch, it would seem that the draft pick Logan Wilson would be the assumed starter next to Bynes and Pratt. But he seems like he might just be a nickel linebacker, not an everyday backer. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think he's ready for prime time out there on every down. Just situational stuff. That's about it. But our linebackers suck.
Yeah. Everything sucks to you. Sandman, what do you think, man? Logan Wilson, Bailey, it's going to be one of those two, it seems. I mean, if they roll Jordan Evans out there as a starter, I'm done. D-U-N.
You
Done.
might be done.
It's literally, you start. That's what's going to happen. Because they got nobody like right now. I mean, the guys that they drafted have some promise, hopefully, and that's all we have right now. Maybe some promise, and it's the weakness of the team. It's been the weakness for the last, I don't know, 6, 7 years.
10 years.
We are the perfect. We have the perfect color scheme for the people we be putting out there. A bunch of stiffs for Halloween.
Yeah. Marvin and his damn 3rd round bargains and shit, man. That being with the Ravens spoiled him something horrible, thinking he could just pick up a bum and start him, not suck.
Yeah.
God,
are you on parole? Okay, then hey, play for the Bengals. Give me this shiv.
Yeah, there's that. And there's also, I think, too, where this disconnect between, and another reason I think why Marvin had to go was like he was just in a different mindset of what football is and was
he didn't
and
adjust.
is. Yeah, it's like, like the professional wrestling like now, there's people that are like, oh, like us, like, oh, I know what it was. But that's certainly not what it is now. And I think Marvin was that way too. You need these like thumpers out there, you know, your Ray Malugas, you know, all these dudes that they would roll out there. Yeah. But then there's running backs literally running circles around them. And like, this is not the league for that anymore. I mean, you need linebackers that can chase, cover, and tackle. You know, you need dudes that are like 230 pounds, not 260 pounds. Like, you just do. Yeah. And like he just couldn't ever come to that conclusion. Like he especially in the latter years or whatever, even with, you know, freaking head case out there who was never there anyway because he was either hurt or suspended. Like he just mostly suspended. He just couldn't wrap his head around that. And even he is a throwback to a time that doesn't exist in this league anymore. Like he is. That's why he's currently suspended or without a team because he's beating with his helmet.
If he wasn't old, he'd be playing.
Huh?
He wasn't old, he'd be playing.
Well, but he would be suspended if he was playing.
He'd be suspended, but
he'd
be suspended.
Yeah, but he would be suspended because he was, again, he's a throwback to a time of, you know, Butkus and freaking all these linebackers. They just that league don't exist no more, man. It don't.
Worse, he was a dumb throwback. He wasn't even. It's okay to be a throwback, but you can't be stupid about it and keep repeating the same mistake over and over again.
Twisting people's ankles on TV. I mean,
he would have been better in the.
Get his shoes. Take them off.
He would have been better in the football league where people played and then folded their helmets and put it in their back pocket and went home. That's how old school he is and was. Like
that's as old school as it gets.
Yeah, I mean, he's just that's. Again, good player when he was there. I think we overhyped him because he was just better than the crap that we had. I mean, he was good.
When we gonna do our best linebackers ever podcast?
We can do it in about 30 seconds. Yeah, we can do it in about 30 seconds.
He'll be number one if that's anything.
Reggie Williams.
Yeah, I mean it's just bad. It's been a problem for years, but it's just whatever.
Yeah.
But so I mean, you know, Sam, in between, you know, Gaither and Wilson, to me it seems like those dudes are more nickel linebackers. They're not every down linebackers. And again, Gaither may rush the quarterback or whatever because uses speed and whatever, and that.
Right.
And Wilson, it just seems like he's going to be out there in the nickel situation. They're going to go two linebackers. It'll be him and Pratt. You know, Bynes ain't going to be out there on the nickel. And, you know, that's when we'll see, you know. I mean, you not wasted, but you used the, third-round pick on this dude.
Again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or nickel, you know, special teams nickel linebacker.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's what they are. They're more nickel than starters. But this was a weak linebacker class, and of course, another team took the ones when we were hoping would fall to us, and then we were stuck with the third rounds and after it once again. And
but didn't the one dude from Iowa, didn't he have two bad knees or some shit?
From Purdue, that's Marcus Bailey.
Oh,
two ACLs. Yeah, again, without that, you know, allegedly he was at third or fourth round talent. So right in the Bengals wheelhouse, and they got him in the seventh round.
Almost dead, but we can still pay. Throw him out there literally. And now inside linebacker, Ironside.
Gaither allegedly got a one poor knee as well. Like they're taking, you know, he might have a very short career. Might be why
Cincinnati.
Yeah. He's still better than Bobby Hart. All right. That's that. It'll be interesting.
That's the problem. False starts in practice. That's the horrible, man.
It'll be interesting to see who they roll out there, you know, when they get to the Chargers. You know, I haven't scouted the Chargers or anything like that. I know that they don't have a quarterback, so that doesn't help at all. I don't know who their running back is anymore since they traded or let that dude sign with the.
I know who it is because I'm gonna start him.
Who is it? Austin Eckert, my son.
Yeah, Eckert. Yeah, he was a beast last year. He was good in fantasy. He's gonna be real good against us in week 1.
Interesting.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah. it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. But yeah, I was saying to Hutch, I have to get my APKs ready for my Fire Stick to be like, hey, you know, if I'm gonna watch this, since I'm certainly not going out to go and do it, I'm gonna have to do it in the house.
Right. Let me see
That's
if
a
I can
4
save
o'clock start
$6. What's that?
It's a 4 o'clock start.
It's a
4
4
o'clock
o'clock
at home?
start.
I know, at home. I know, it's weird.
That's strange.
Yeah.
They won it. It's the number 1 quarterback. They won.
Yeah, that's prime. Yeah, closer to prime. Yeah, you're right.
That may be it.
And they probably thought maybe the other dude was gonna start too. Maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they are in prime time on week 2, so we're gonna see him get crushed.
Yikes.
But whatever. But did you see my true or false question this week, or on the text chain?
Say it again.
The
listeners can't see it.
The 2 defensive linemen for the Chargers make more money than the Bengals offensive starting line.
Yeah, probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or it's very close.
Probably. We don't have any a high price pick there except Jonah Williams. I mean, and freaking Bobby Hart, who makes $7 million, which is insane. But the rest of them are all, you know, kind of free agent 3rd and 4th round picks. So yeah, yeah, I hear you. All right, let's get into this halftime topic. We talked about it before. It's fight. Let's talk about some what we said that Earl Thomas got himself cut today by beating up one of his teammates. Something Clark, my son told me, is the name of this particular player, but it's like a backup safety. Like, so you have your starter beating up one of the backups, which is never good when they're beating up the subordinates, I guess. Yeah, over a blown coverage. Like, it's just practice. It's not a game. Why are we fighting on the side? You know, why are we fighting in practice? Damn. So I'm thinking, let's send some good fights between teammates that you heard about, remember, or anything like that. I had a list off the top of my head. I went to the internet a little bit. A couple of them I remember, like, more specifically than others, you know. So Sandman, you got a fight that you remember? It doesn't have to be in football, between teammates.
Only one that comes to mind right now is Chad versus everybody in the locker room in that playoff game, that we lost. Which one? I guess it don't matter, but yeah.
Marvin. Yeah.
Was it Marvin? Yeah. That they still don't want to talk about that to this day.
They can't.
Yeah. What was the Hamburglar? What was that? Sean Williams? Sean? What was the fat dude? The defensive tackle? Was it Sean something?
Yeah.
Sean Smith.
Oh.
Yeah. Sean Smith was the one that allegedly leaked it or whatever.
Got cut.
Okay.
Yeah. I still don't know if I believe it, but obviously something happened.
That's Chad. Right. Chad. If Chad don't talk about it, then it probably really happened.
Well, no disrespect, but Chad out there headbutting women. So
right.
No joke.
Please forget that too.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of surprising to me. It's kind of surprising to me he still has somewhat a version of a career after that particular incident. So
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, he did that at the right time, right before things went south for those types of things.
But he was almost out the league anyway. So
yeah, well, he was out of the league right after that. Right. He didn't play after that.
Well, he keeps trying to come back. Or he keeps saying it, but yeah.
Keep playing the FIFA. Keep playing FIFA soccer there, Chad. All right, so that's one. Hutch, you got one that you can remember? Teammate fight.
Yeah, OT versus, Terrell Owens versus McNabb.
No, yeah, that's more of an argument. They never got into the fisticuffs. I'm talking fisticuffs.
Arguing, that's close enough, and then they still arguing.
Yeah, 30,
so I mean, that's if you beefing on Twitter 20 years later. I mean, that's a continuation.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing that with T.O. arguing, I mean, got him and Jeff Garcia, him and everybody. Essentially.
Right, Emmitt Smith when he put that but that was not against another team. But when he took the ball and put it in the middle of the damn star. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's just T.O. is just that dude. I mean, I can't stand T.O. I mean, even when we played with the Bengals, I didn't like him then either. So
I also got the Richie Incognito and Jonathan Martin.
Oh yeah, yeah. That really wasn't a fight. That was more bullying. So
that
Styles was still with the Dolphins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Dolphins, right.
More bullying. Yeah.
Bullying.
I got a couple.
Somebody whooping the other person's ass.
I got a couple. Y'all staying in football. I got a couple.
What you got?
Jordan and Steve Kerr. Michael Jordan punched Steve.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, they recounted it.
That was bullying.
Yeah,
Jordan was the bully.
You thought Steve Kerr like to throw a punch and be alive?
Well, look, man. Steve Kerr just had, and then he got caught with 5 fingers. So, yeah, that's great.
Did Steve Kerr throw a punch?
Huh?
Did Steve Kerr throw a punch?
Yeah, I mean, when they tell the thing on The Last Dance, it said it was a fight. Like, they got into a fight.
Yeah, it was a fight.
Like, Michael Jordan, like, after that, respected him, because he didn't push him around. So, I mean.
Yeah. Well, he did that with all his teammates. He saw how far they could push. He could push him until they actually got so mad they were ready to fucking fight his ass. Yeah. And he fought him. Yeah. He threw a punch at him.
Jordan's a dick.
Yes, he always
right. He's a dick with. I mean, I would love to have a dick with 6 rings.
Yeah, easy. All right.
I mean,
there's a fun one from football. Rex Ryan versus Kevin Gilbride. Remember he punched him up?
That was
That's
the one I was about to say. Yeah. Wasn't there something with the Bears with Buddy Ryan too when he was with the Bears?
Buddy Ryan went after
Ditka?
Coach. Ditka.
Was it Ditka? Oh, it was Ditka. Okay, I couldn't remember.
No.
Yeah.
That thing on the sideline, that was when they were with Houston where he punched Kevin Gilbride, the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, everybody remembers that. But, that was funny.
Wait a minute. I swear to goodness, I thought we saw that him and Ditka were going at it too because it was defense versus offense in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I'll look. I'm trying to remember.
In baseball, Keith Hernandez and Darryl Strawberry at the photo shoot after they won the World Series, out there fighting for real.
Yeah,
I'm sure both of them were on cocaine. Certainly.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, both of them had to be on the cocaine.
Oh man,
here's one that y'all going to remember.
Yeah,
Rob Dibble and Lou Piniella.
Oh yeah.
In the locker room, man. How you gonna forget that? That was insane.
That's
Lou
right.
Piniella was not having it. Rob Dibble.
You don't want to be treated like a man. I remember he yelled at him.
That was a great one.
He still is an asshole.
That was a great one.
That was a great one. Yeah.
This is probably the most famous football one. Was it Westbrook and Stephen Davis for the Washington football team? Remember that? Like Michael Westbrook was beating Stephen Davis literally into the ground. You remember that one?
I don't remember that one.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, golly. Wait a minute. I'm going to have to pull that up on YouTube and share it. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no.
Hold on. Let me see something. I'm going to drop out.
It was during practice? Not a game?
Yes.
Damn.
Definitely. I think I can pull that up.
What was his name?
Who?
Was it not Atwater? Who was the corner? Who was the defensive back?
Atwater? Steve Atwater was a safety.
Oh, yeah, he was a safety. He punched somebody in the face.
Ouch.
As he was on, because I think Atwater was on that shit, that steroids or something.
Sure he was. Hold on.
No doubt.
It was some practice.
Let's see if this pulls up. And I've obviously had problems dealing with this.
I gave you share, whatever.
Yeah, I know. I got to share. I'm waiting to see if it comes up.
Yeah, but
oh my God.
I mean, when you have people, you have these grown-ass people, you keep smashing them together, you talk about losing millions of dollars and pride, you're going to have fights. And we got fights for some damn sneakers that damn work.
Yeah.
I
mean, yeah.
And a lot of them are alpha males already. So
right.
Well, and I said to Hutch too that now I can't be able to pull up. It's all like still pictures.
Right.
My bad. All right, let me come to the group. Wait a minute. Why can't I get back into the group here?
So I mean that's what you out there on your pride. I mean, when we heard that Atkins got knocked on his ass, we heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure he was mad.
And you're right.
Yeah, sure.
That shit is pride.
Yeah, you're right about that. Pride is a huge part of that shit. Nobody wants to be embarrassed.
Right. That's right. Nobody wants to be post-pride.
Yeah. How about old school freaking Reggie Jackson fighting Billy Martin in the dang on dugout with the Yankees?
Right.
Them fools was fighting every chance they got, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Not just Reggie. Everybody hated Billy.
Yeah, Bronx
He was Reggie too.
Yeah.
Reggie's an a-hole.
He wasn't. Well, Mr. October, he made a lot of enemies during that time.
Yeah, he's just Reggie Jackson's a dick too. Like
he's a dick.
Jerk.
Yeah, he's a full-grown shaft with balls.
Yeah. How about this one? Gilbert Arenas and Javaris Critton. You almost getting straight up gunfight.
Right. He get on the bus talking shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Over a bet or gambling thing.
Gambling.
And somebody threw a gun into the locker room. So,
and on a bus too, right? Or wasn't there a bus thing too?
No, I think they were gambling. Somebody in Gilbert Arenas is also a dick.
Yeah,
he's an idiot.
Like he just the constant needling, and that dude, he just had it enough.
Yeah.
He was just like he snapped, was ready to, get the snaps. So
don't bet.
Yeah.
KO shit.
Here's one of my favorite ones, only because there's a great rap lyric about it. Latrell Speedwell versus PJ Carlesimo. Yeah. When he played for Golden State, put some mustard on that pass. What? Yeah.
Oh shit.
I forget who the guest was on that Mobb Deep track. I can't remember who it was, but the line was "choke more niggas than Spreewell." Was dying.
Oh, well, what
was
about
Spreewell the one with Malice in the Palace? Is that the one he was fighting the entire?
That was Ron Artest.
That was Artest. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah,
I know that's not teammates, but that shit is
an actor. His own family.
No, they were on the road. It was other teammates or whatever. So you've heard the stories about Kobe and Paul Gasol. Been probably some physical moments there.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, that's like one of those. Yeah, and that's one of those things too now where it's really, again, like those linebackers that don't exist, like that league don't exist no more in the NBA either. Like where you have these that'll just, push, shove, and literally push and shove and whatever. Even with Jimmy Butler here with the Heat when he left Minnesota, he didn't get in a fight with anybody. He just punked them. But back in the day, that would have obviously ended in a fist fight. NBA players now are more like baseball players. Like, oh, what? Somebody hold me back. Somebody hold me back. I mean, a bunch of fake.
Did you see that Houston Dodgers game apparently?
Which one?
No.
Game where the Dodger pitcher.
Oh, they were throwing at him. Throwing at Houston.
Yeah, they got physical on that one.
Yeah.
They're gonna be getting that all year. By the way, Houston. People are still mad at that shit.
Ain't nobody happier. Ain't nobody happier about COVID than the Houston Astros. Nobody. Let me tell you.
You're damn right.
They are the happiest people about the freaking COVID on the planet. That's 100% fact. Because ain't nobody talking about that. They just talking about everything else. So yeah, so just some couple of, some fights from teammates or whatever. It's always interesting to see what happens when they happen, and then if they wind up cutting them. Spreewell got traded. Westbrook got cut. This can't be putting Gilbert Arenas out of the league.
Earl Thomas will have a position with somebody here.
Monday. He'll have a job here in a couple of days. It's just. But Kerr and Jordan
the Super Bowl will do that for you.
Yeah,
them all pros in the Super Bowl speak. So.
Yeah, Kerr and Jordan wound up winning the championship after that fight. So, it could bring the team together. Obviously, the Ravens didn't think that was worth it. All right. So I don't know what the time thing is there. I said if you were waiting for the Pump Your Breaks Playboi part of this about freaking Joe Burrow, well, we are here. It's going to be the third and fourth quarter. You won't even hear the break in between. It's just going to be a running monologue here. All right. So really only two places here. Do you pump the brakes, like, slow down, big fella, things are, it was a scrimmage and a practice? Or do you just head on completely irrational, buying Joe Burrow jerseys, naming your kids Joe Burrow, thinking about moving to Cincinnati, or worse yet, moving to Athens, so you can hang out with him. Shouts out Athens, Ohio. I've been there a couple of times. I loved it there. But, all right. So for the Pump Your Breaks Playboy folks like Hodge, his first padded practice, he was all right. He was 6 of 12. He fumbled a snap in the rain. He did have an interception to Josh Bynes or whatever. He had a touchdown too, but he was just average, 6 of 12, very, average. So Hodge, that would probably be what you would be expecting him to be, 6 of 12, a pick and a touchdown. If he did that over the course of a season, obviously maybe go 2 for 1 there, 15, 16 interceptions, 20 some odd touchdowns. That's probably what we would expect typically.
That'd be about right.
So, that's a pump your brakes kind of situation. And, yeah, I mean, if you compare.
For those who do not have the visual, I got my football preview, Sports Illustrated, and I was looking through it, and it has our team at 3-13.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Barring an injury, that's not happening. Yep. Yeah. Barring an injury, that's not gonna happen. I can't see that.
Started the whole podcast off with injuries. But yeah, sure.
Well, but nobody on that injury list is gonna be, say for AJ, nobody on that injury list is gonna have that huge of effect on a freaking 3-win team. I can't see it. I just can't. Nope. Can't see it.
That's a lot of games to lose.
That's a lot of games to lose in a division,
especially when you get rid of that quarterback.
Yeah, when you win a division where you play the Browns twice, it's not happening. Okay.
And I'm not buying into the Browns.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I guess can't see it. But if you're on the other side of the world where you're like, I'm not pumping the brakes, I'm driving with no brakes like the Flintstones, and I'm just head on into the freaking, bedrock here in the scrimmage, the padded scrimmage or whatever. He's 9 for 10 to start, 101 yards, 2 touchdowns, 13 of 19 overall, where he just absolutely goes up and down the field, scores on the first 2 possessions, touchdowns both to Auden Tate, Sandman. It's like, well, maybe the first practice he just didn't know. Second practice he adapted and learned and goes out there and lights it up. Which is it?
Yeah. Generally, when you have 2 extremes, you throw out the worst, you throw out the best, and usually it's somewhere in the middle. I think it's a little bit higher than that middle. I think the same thing I keep hearing is that he's very accurate. He knows timing, which used to drive me fucking crazy about Andy Dalton. He would never throw it to them in rhythm and timing. I could not stand that. And he seems to understand that. So when I heard that, I instantly got a couple more dollars to that the Burrow jersey. I'm probably going to order. And yeah, I'll be honest, when I heard that 9 for 9 or 10 for 10 he did on that drive, I was like, oh shit, yeah, I was going crazy. Because when you ain't got hope, you will say anything and grab hold of anything that is not doom and gloom every 5 seconds, man. So yeah, I was really happy to hear that. Now, I do think that that this is the second scrimmage in training camp. So I kind of came back down to earth after that. But that's what you want to hear from your rookie quarterback, that he understands that he's executing in practice.
Hutch, I mean, you've been the more pump your brakes playboy. If you combine the 2 starts, air quotation, he's 19 of 31, something like that. So you're 60 some odd %, 2 touchdowns and an interception. I assure you that Andy Dalton never went 9 for 10 with 2 touchdowns in a scrimmage. I assure you of that.
9 interceptions.
I could look it up.
9 misses in a row.
I could look it up, but I'm be willing to bet that for certain in his first scrimmage practice, he didn't go 9 for 10 two touchdowns. I assure you that didn't happen.
You can most definitely assure that he didn't do that.
Okay.
But he was also I changed my name to what I think of the
Dr. Doom.
Yes.
Come on, Dr. Gloom and Doom.
Yeah. So yes, the Dalton had definitely had a better defense he was playing against than what we're putting out there right now.
Okay, and we talked about this before, though. It could be that the defense is not good. I mean, that's obviously that's a possibility. But if that's a possibility, the other possibility is also true, that he could just be that good that he's making them look bad. And that will only say, man, make the defense better when they play quarterbacks that aren't as good as him.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's just one of those guys that understands, like, he doesn't have a really strong arm, but he understands routes, he understands timing. And that is, to me, that's like 75% of the damn quarterback in the NFL right there. If you can throw the ball first to somebody in rhythm, brother, you're going to get a lot of completions downfield. You know how to find that open man, and he seems to know how to do that. Yeah. I mean, it was a quantum jump from where he was at LSU year one from last year when he blew the hell up. So that kind of worried me that it's like that fast so far. That did kind of worry me, but I think he's had the light that went on, I think. And now in the NFL, we don't know if that's going to translate when he beats a defense that can actually disguise stuff. And
the game plans for him.
Game
when
plans.
Them bullets ain't blanks, when they take off that red jersey.
But Hutch, you have to.
Shit is real.
In the scrimmage, because of these false starts, he converted all of those like those plays. He converted all of them. He's starting behind down and distance. He converts all of them at the expense of Bobby Hart and others. And he makes those plays. He scrambles for one first down. Like, you know, he's mobile, as in a quarterback that we haven't had to be mobile since Jeff Blake. So he's able to, you know, but he's also able to scramble to keep drives alive, but he's also able to buy time in the pocket, which was Andy Dalton's Achilles heel, because if it wasn't there, you could see the panic ensue, and then those freaking high balls we talked about before were coming. So, I mean, Hutch,
those are,
I don't understand how you can be so Dr. Doom.
Versus misstate numbers, and that just says that we're misstate on defense. Well, look, we've all seen thousands of quarterbacks in this league, maybe hundreds, maybe thousands. Who knows? Hey, I ain't never heard no quarterback go at 9 for 10 for 2 touchdowns in practice. I ain't never. You can't even do that shit on Madden. So how in the hell you make it in your life?
When you compare it to the closest drafted quarterback, which would have been Tua Tagovailoa at the Dolphins, who struggled mightily. 6 of 14 in his first scrimmage or whatever.
Right.
Do not draft Alabama quarterbacks.
Yes, that's also should be shouted out. Well, to be fair, drafting LSU quarterbacks is not a great idea either.
That's very true.
To be fair.
That's true.
But I'm just saying, under similar situations, and somebody who lives close to this, the Dolphins defense is not the 85 Bears. Like, not even close. Okay? So the fact that he couldn't go out there, and he didn't really go out with the ones, he went out there with the twos and went
that's bad.
That's kind of scary. So I'm just saying, it seems like, you know, even after his first bad day, you know, he throws that really easy pick to Josh Bynes or whatever. He goes up to Josh Bynes. He's like, hey, you know, like, what did you see there? What did you read from me? Blah, 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 blah. He learned something. Next day, he goes off 9 for 10 or whatever to start and 2 touchdowns. I mean, here's the other thing, too, and I brought it back up. He was throwing to Auden Tate and Alex Erickson.
Which is even
not exactly starters.
Not exactly starters. Not starters at all.
Was being kind.
So, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I go back to that question. Do we have – look, we said this on the earlier podcast. The floor for Joe Burrow is Andy Dalton. I think that's fair to say.
The
like
floor
that's
is
the
higher
floor.
than that.
Yeah, that's the floor.
So.
I think if he was Andy Dalton somewhere between 13, 14, 15, 16,
Right.
13, 14, 15, 16.
14,
if that was his floor, they're going to make the playoffs at some point because that was the playoff team, unless the defense is just complete crap. So that's probably a playoff team, but that's the floor. His ceiling, probably, I mean, I don't know.
Watch it. Sucker.
But even if his ceiling is somewhere in that upper atmosphere, we are talking we're talking a Super Bowl winner more than likely because he's just going to make everybody better around him.
I think so. I mean, you've already seen the evidence of it with who'd you say the receivers were? Freaking that he was throwing to. Auden Tate and Auden Tate. Auden Tate, we faster than Auden Tate. I'm over 50 and -2 miles an hour. I'm faster than Auden Tate. And Auden Tate catching balls from him going downfield. I mean, you can, and Alex Erickson, for God's sake, that's a very good sign. I mean, are we kind of high in the sky right now? Yeah. But I'll take that. I will definitely take that.
Go ahead.
I'm afraid. I'm doom and gloom. I'm on defense. If I'm the defense and I'm giving up this kind of stuff to a rookie quarterback, I'm filling out my resume to work at Payless. I think they're close.
They're out of business.
Yeah, they're out of exactly. You about to be out of business. You got to be out of the business of football and being in a uniform anyway. Somebody on our defense, because if we're going to win, we're going to have to win shootouts.
And that's not good either.
As of right now, yeah. Hopefully in the future, we'll have better defenses and he will benefit from that. And then they can actually win games like you're supposed to without having to outscore everybody every week. But, for now, that's the truth.
But, and here's a wild whatever. Oh, yeah, defense wins championships, blah, 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 blah. And we talked about Marvin, whatever. We talked about Marvin, being an old school coach or whatever, and that belief and thought process or whatever. I don't know if that's really the NFL anymore. Like, I really don't.
Offense wins championships now.
That's what I'm saying.
Everything in the
everything
in the NFL
your
is
offense
for the
is,
offense.
Your offense is your best defense. And I think we feel that when we're watching the Bengals play in recent years or whatever, when a team has a decent quarterback and you know that they can score, not necessarily at will, but generally speaking, they can move the ball and they can score, we feel it like, oh, man, they're about to score again. So if we feel it, how do you think the dudes on the field feel? And then it puts pressure on everybody. It's a mental thing. It's like, man, we got to stop them here because if we don't stop them, our offense can't keep scoring. Like, it just becomes this thing, and it just becomes a big domino, and then they don't, whatever. But if we have the quarterback that's setting the pace here, that our offense is one, then that puts pressure on the Ben Roethlisbergers and all these people like, oh, we're going to have to score points to beat these dudes too.
Well, maybe. I ain't worried about that rapist. He done figured out how to beat us hell damn any way you can. And they've done
it.
Yeah.
Look, Jackson.
How about this? Unlike the quarterback that we had previously, and the one that came before him, to be perfectly honest with you, Hutch, Joe Burrow ain't afraid of the big moment like them two were. Those two's buttholes was super tight, and this dude does not. None of this is going to overwhelm him, Hutch. None of it.
I do not ever want to see this again.
They literally just showed that before I got on the call.
Right, that's going to be his high until he wins the Super Bowl. That's going to be his biggest highlight shot.
He's got to win one.
I'm right. Maybe he won't, but I can almost guarantee they got 2 wins in Cincinnati and in Baltimore.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
For now. Again, I don't want to feel like, oh, man, this is like the greatest quarterback of all time. We Tom Brady reincarnated or whatever. I'm not there. But I'm also Like if he had gone out and completely shit the bed 2 practices in a row, we'd be having a different podcast talking about we probably should have drafted 2.
Yeah, we'll be
very true.
I would like that podcast we're going to have 3 or 4 weeks from now will be very interesting.
Yeah.
Will we have a podcast?
It will be. It will be. Yeah. I mean, Burrow, he just has a swagger
that's the word.
I keep trying not to tear down Andy Dalton, but it's true that Dalton didn't have no swagger, bro. I'm sorry.
No swagger.
I tried to root for him. It's like,
zero swagger.
He can do something. No, he couldn't. It was just not going to happen from night to night. And then playoff games, we didn't have that chance.
Playoffs.
It wasn't all his fault.
Thursday night, Sunday nights, Monday nights, Sunday before, like anything that had a primetime audience, he got super butt tight. And so did nobody. Palmer. And so did Carson.
Well, nobody afraid of Andy Dalton. Nope. It's sad to say. I mean, it was just the fact that it was like Andy Dalton win. That's a win. They broken it down on their calendar. Win. Yep. I'm sorry, and that's not the deal with Joe Burrow. And I was like, ooh, he's kind of a free swinger. You don't care. He'll throw the ball. You don't care.
I'm gonna keep it 100.
It's 2 completely new.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I mean, Andy Dalton wasn't nearly as doo-doo soft as Carson Palmer. Not nearly. Carson Palmer is doo-doo soft. 2-year-old baby doo-doo soft.
Well, I agree on both counts. That's awful, but it's true.
It's true.
It's very true.
Man, looking top down on the Carson Palmer era, I mean, it was good, I guess, but
no, it wasn't.
You could.
Well,
I mean,
good for the Bengals.
Did I bring this up in the last podcast? I don't know if I did. I know it was in my notes, and I can't remember if we did it or not.
I think we mentioned it.
Do you wish that he picked a different number, Joe Burrow?
Yes.
Okay. I said it to y'all, or did we talk about it?
Well, I don't know if it was on this, but we talked about it somewhere.
Yeah, I really wish he had picked a different number because it's just, you're just used to seeing him being like, it's just, Carson Palmer just kind of owned that for those years. Go ahead, Hutch.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, he wore 10 at Ohio State and in his high school. But I think those years represent to him not, the success that he became. And he just – so I understand what you're talking about. When you put on that 9, I kind of like, oh, that looks like Carson Palmer too much to me. I don't like that. But I think he can overcome that. I don't think that's an issue to him. He doesn't care about the baggage we got.
He definitely does.
We got that baggage. He doesn't.
Until it comes on him.
Did he not take 10 because he didn't think Kevin Huber was going to give him the number, man? Is that what it was?
Cincinnati hometown legend Kevin Huber.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, he should have known better. He should have gave up his number.
How bad is that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to go crazy. I'm not living with somebody right now who's going crazy. Our nephew, y'all's nephew, my son is just like, having to temper expectations here. And I just don't know, where we are in the road here.
Well, I know where I was when I was that age. I had faith in a nice booth. And now at 50, all this shit is faded. My faith and my hairline. Squeaky, squeaky, squeaky.
Yeah. As morbid as this is, Joe Burrow is literally Princess Leia in A New Hope. You're our only hope, really. Right, at that point. Yeah, I mean, in terms of the Dey Over 40 and soon to be over 50 crowd here, if it don't happen here, we're gonna be watching the next game, not the next game, but the future games, top down ourselves from heaven, or hopefully from heaven. I've watched them top up too. I don't know. Hey, Hutch, would your personal hell be having to watch the second Super Bowl over and over again against the 49ers?
I think that 2016 playoff loss, that shit haunts me more than Super Bowl 23.
Yeah, I agree.
And that put such a bad taste in most of the fans' mouths, man. Because
But
how
that
do you lose that?
2005
I don't
playoff,
want to relive it. I don't want to relive it again. But that you
Yeah.
cannot possibly lose that game, and they fucked it up. Still,
that
they still
2005
found a way.
playoff game
Yeah.
haunts me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you get two star players hurt on the same fucking play?
I was in
Yeah.
Savannah with the family or whatever. We were walking, on the cobble streets or whatever, and I had to go to the bathroom. And I ran into an Applebee's or Fridays or something like that. And that was on. I had never ran and pissed and ran out quicker than I ever had at that point because it was right before he fumbled. I was just like,
Oh,
and
no.
get the hell out of here.
No.
Yeah, I'm like, let me get out of here.
Oh.
I mean, I sooner would have peed myself than had to gone through that again. So, yeah, just a bad group. I don't know. All right. So, so moving forward, the Bengals, again, there's no preseason. We are, what's today, the 23rd? So 24 days away from the opener. Is that right? It was on the 16th, I think, September the 16th. I thought it was the 16th or the 14th. Maybe I'm wrong.
It's in that area.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, the calendar's coming. It's the 13th.
The 13th. That's the
13th.
That's the Sunday? Or is that the
Gotta be Sunday, right?
It's a Sunday, 13th.
That's the Chiefs game. September 13th is, I think, the Thursday night game.
Wait a
Am I
minute.
right? Am I crazy? Wait a
I'm
minute.
pulling up the schedule right now.
Yeah, no, it's
Los
the
Angeles Chargers,
18th.
the
I think it's
13th.
the 18th. 13th.
Yeah.
13th. My bad. So what? 8 days? How many days left in this month? 8.
There's 7 for sure.
7 or 8.
And then 8. And then what? 13. So 20 days away. So you're gonna get a couple of more, padded practices and all those types of things. I'm gonna hold on. No, that's my kid's school. I thought it was somebody else. I'm gonna talk to them. All right. So we're gonna get a couple more padded practices. A couple of probably more scrimmages or whatever. And then I would probably say, one cut down day comes probably at the end of this month. They start game planning for the Chargers. Like, I think it becomes that serious and specific at that point, and it's go time. And I think you told me the Bengals are 3.5 point favorites or favorites, underdog.
3.5 under. They're 3.5, underdog.
So that's like being really a 6-point underdog at home. Yeah. That's interesting. Let's see how the money moves on that, if the money heads on to the Bengals or whatever. This is a stat that I always held on, because it applied to other teams, maybe not necessarily Cincinnati, as teams coming east, because of the time adjustments and all that. And they have this, terrible record when they come east. I held on to that last year when the 49ers came to Cincinnati in week 2. I was like, oh, man, they're going to do – I mean, I didn't know they were going to be a Super Bowl almost winning team, the 49ers last year. But, I held on to that then too, and that didn't really work.
Not exactly.
Not quite. But the NFL set the Bengals up. They did. Hey, we're going to give you a team that you possibly could beat to start. They didn't throw them in there against, the Steelers or the Ravens in week 1 to go out there and embarrass them or whatever. So it'll be interesting to see. I assure you, most Chargers fans aren't like, oh, yeah, this is going to be a layup win. Oh, I'm pretty sure that's what they're thinking, too. So it'd be interesting.
Actually, the line has changed. It's down to 3 now, and the over-under is 44 points. That's on
Damn.
I take the under probably, only because –
more than likely.
I take the under because it's the first game of the season. Obviously, defenses are ahead of the offenses in these situations, so I'd probably take the under.
If I had to score it right now, I would say Chargers 24, Bengals 20.
Yeah, that's right on the number
44.
though. Yeah, it's something. It'll probably be in that general range. Who knows? But
anything can happen. We don't.
Yeah, exactly. You never know what's going to happen between now and then. So who gets hurt? Who doesn't play? Who gets COVID? For Pete's sake, you know what I'm saying?
God.
Yeah.
It might be a 1 week season.
Before the game and after the game, we should.
Say what?
We should podcast before the game and after the game.
I don't think I got a before in me, but I got an after, especially
Well,
Oh,
we
after
boy.
can't
this.
go to the after, but we should do the before.
Mm,
We should be
yeah, it'll
have
be
a hype
interesting.
video before. We're gonna have a hype video on the 6th, and then sit there for a whole week and do nothing until after.
Yeah.
Well, again, that's going to be a 4 o'clock and now a 7 o'clock freaking start there. Or podcast starts 7:30.
It'll be over faster than that if it's that ugly.
And God help them if they
Yeah.
lose. What kind of mood we gonna be in after that?
Or it could be, hey, we're up by 20 in the third quarter. Shit, we could. That might be the longest podcast ever.
Let's go back Let's go back 2 solid years ago when they opened against the Ravens, and we were watching the game at John's. I can't remember the name of the restaurant in the Metro Atlanta area, and we were at halftime. We're like, "That's it, yeah, that's it. We're done. Let's get the hell out of here." Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah. That's bad.
Blue Moon, honey, mango, wheat. That's all I can tell you. It helped.
Right. A lot of drinking.
Not official sponsor of this podcast. So,
But
yeah, that covers it for this week. You better find this podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. You can check out the YouTube channel just search @Brothers Comics. On Spotify, I forgot to keep saying that. It's on Spotify as well. And we're on iHeartRadio. I just found that out the other day too. So, So wherever you get your podcasts, if you're a Bengal fan, grab a Day Brew. Actually, I wouldn't probably drink those because they're probably 35 years old. Probably not a great idea. You grab some other brew, and listen, to kind of real Bengal fans talk about this situation. But other than that, Hotch, we need exit music.
I said check yourself before you wreck yourself. DOS effects.
Oh, yeah. Wait a second. Jeez. You gonna really do that to DOS effects? Dang it.
Use the remix.
Fine.
That Ice Cube best.
Huh?
With the Ice Cube.
That?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite groups from back in the day. Y'all know that for sure. I know. Yeah.
That last time the Bengals weren't even good then, but whatever.
What?
They weren't good when that album came out. It was like 92.
What? You tried? DOS effects wasn't any good?
No, I'm talking about the Bengals weren't any good.
Oh, I was about to say, man. We were about
you gotta specify, brother. We
was about to have a teammate fight.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That would have been golly. Yes. All right. So as the Brooklyn boys of DOS Effects start to play us out here again, I'm the producer of this podcast, and I'm signing off. Sandman, go ahead and sign off.
All right, people. I will simply say, Yo, Joe.
Yes, that's it. Yep. It's yeah. I'm trying to. I gotta hold it down. That's another DOS Effects. Hold it down, baby. Keep it on lock. Hold it down, nigga. Yeah, and you can kick it on lock. Hutch, go ahead and sign off, man.
I am the more less excited of this group. So I hope I'm wrong, but I've seen too much.
Yeah. Stop being the K Solo of the Hit Squad, bro.
Wait a minute. Hey, there's nothing wrong with being Case. So he had one album or one.
Yes, he has one album. All right. We'll see everybody on the other side. Peace.